My dog's looking at me. Hey guy, okay, first time doing this. Not sure how this is gonna go, but I'm gonna give it a shot. As many people know, I am a Robin simp. So naturally, I'm gonna want to play this later. I thought I could make like a decklist video of just like how like my decklist personally progresses, cause like I like the idea of it, but like honestly to me, Robin sort of feels like a a Yamato 2.0. Like it's a great effect, but like I don't know, something's missing. To me, like Robin needs like a boss monster that she could search. Like I know in Fidelio's Discord, I always say like Robin needs like a 10 cost Robin, like whatever that serpent attack she does on Black Maria. I thought that'd be sick. Unfortunately, we didn't get it. Honestly, that's understandable just because, you know, the deck is the four emperors and Robin unfortunately is not an emperor. But anyways, this is my deck list so far. I think it's pretty consistent. I have 3 games for you guys that I'm just gonna like walk through what my thought process is. It's gonna be, I believe it's a purple black Luffy, a Shanks, and a Chopper. So we got like 2 decks that are sort of considered to be like the new best decks in format, and then like a fun off meta deck. Honestly, that off meta deck was probably the hardest match because I just was not expecting it. But anyways, the deck list itself, so I've been watching Yorks a lot, and he had the idea of the Zoro Banish, and I think this is a great idea because when Robin first came out, everybody was like, "Oh my god, we got to like speed run to like 10 cost Ace or 9 drop Yamato or I don't know like Nika, like the 10 drop Nika. Oh, the sun's being slow. The 10 drop Nika, the purple one. This Chad right here, purple Nika. Like everyone was like, "Yo, we got to speed run to this," and I'm like, "Yeah, that's a great idea," but like at the same time, you're losing hand size. So in the early days of Yamato and Robin, I was sort of trying to figure out a way to do like a draw engine while doing like a banish engine, which it feels like it works. That's sort of at the back of my mind, but like what Yorks did is I like what he did a lot better. His deck sort of revolves around this card. It doesn't really revolve around it, but like this is the main card of the deck, of Banish Zoro. The reason why I like this card is because, again, with Robin's effect, when you're discarding every turn, like a trigger every turn. So the main triggers in your deck are the Onamis, Frankies, Eggnami, Clover, Olivia. You're never discarding her, and Sol. And Sanji. I don't like this card. I'll tell you why later. But what's important about what's important and what kind of sucks about these cards are, first of all, this is your low cost blocker, which could be played off of your Robin trigger. I noticed in like a few of my games that I've been playing, I would get this Robin as a trigger, and it's like play a Lisa or play a 3 cost or less from your hand, and I'm like, damn it, I use my Sol for ramping, but that's fine. But what's most importantly and what sucks the most is that your Olivia, Clover, Eggnami, and Onami are also other cards that you can trash, but I don't like trashing them. Like I'll explain Onami why later. Eggnami, honestly, I'm trying to figure out how to use a little bit more. I'm starting to get used to her, but I don't mind trashing this card. I know it's good, but I'm just not used to using it, so that's on me. These 2 cards I hate trashing, and I try to never trash just because these are 2K counters. One of the issues with Robin is obviously when you're trashing cards, you're losing hand size. So with cards like this, like a 2K counter, like losing a potential 2K counter is pretty huge, especially with the meta of 09 seeming to be like, okay, everybody's just playing big bodies and they're swinging high. So like, I want these 2 key counters. Like honestly, the only cards I probably would trash for a leader effect is Sol, Sanji, and probably Eggnami. Um, and the good thing about playing around this Banish Zoro is realistically you're only ramping once. Like what, again, with what everyone was saying is that oh, speed run to 10 or speed run to 9, like you're gonna be losing 2 cards in the process, and that's still gonna take like 3 to 4 turns, which your opponent already has a board, so it's like it's hard to like get value off of that. You don't ramp fast enough for what you're losing, I guess is what I'm trying to say. The great part about Banish Zoro is because you just need to ramp once. If you ramp once, so like let's say you're going first, you swing 3, or you swing 8k, then you just trash, and then you're on your 6 down turn next turn because you're at 3 plus 1 6 plus 2 at 6. So that's great for Banner Zoro. You just play this out. This guy is a huge threat. 6 costs 7k banish. That's hard to counter out of, especially when your leader is auto banish already. Especially with Shanks, you have to figure out which one you want to minus, whether it be leader, because like Zoro's gonna swing anyways. So they're losing cards either way. The other card you want to play obviously is this card. In my head, you play Banish Zoro first, and then you play, because like let's say 5 life leader. 5 life leader is actually probably the best situation, because what you do is just swing with Robin. Most likely they will trash the life, so then they're on 4 life. Then on 6 dawn you play out Zoro, and then you just empty swing with Robin to get a card out of their hand. That's great. So they're at, ideally they're at 3 life. So then your next turn, what you do, so your next turn is going to be 8 dawn. Yeah, their next turn after is, sorry, their next turn after playing out Zoro is going to be their 8 dawn turn. So they will likely be at 4 life. So what you do is you have like 3 banish options. You have 2 dawn on leader, which is a 7k banish that they have to counter out of. You have another 7k banish, and then you play out Robin, which obviously this order changes because the Robin condition for them to trash a life is for them to have 3 or more life cards. So obviously if you're not going to want to put them down to 2 life before you play out Robin. You play out Robin and then you do the banish. But those are 3 banish options you have on your 3rd turn, and then they're just at 1 or 2 life. It's a little more harder with 4 life characters, but like the concept is still the same. It's just the order of how you do leader swing, Banish Zoro, and play out Robin. That sort of changes around. And then that's not even it. That's not even it. This is actually where Onami comes in. So the next turn, granted that your Robin survives, Zoro, I feel like you want to try and keep Zoro alive because it's just an active threat. I'm a huge fan of taunts in the game. The concept of a taunt is something that you have to attack into, or else the other person is going to like benefit off of it like a lot, which Zoro is exactly that. I feel like you defend Zoro. Yeah, I feel like you defend Zoro as much as you can. Obviously, maintaining your hand size is more important, but like Zoro is just a constant threat. As a Robin player, I don't think you're worried about losing hand size if your opponent is losing hand size. That only becomes an issue when they have a lot of cards. You don't want to lose cards. It's sort of like the card advantage game from there. But anyway, so your 10 dawn turn, you could either play Yamato or Ace if you want to play Ace. Or what you can do, and what I'm leaning towards honestly, is playing out Banish Onami onto your Robin, and then just like buffing your leader. That's 2 dawn. So that's 2 dawn, 6k banish, 7k banish, 5k banish. That's a lot of banish. That's a lot of banish. So your deck sort of revolves around the pressure that this gives, because it sort of gives you space to breathe with your life. It enables this play just because, again, you have more space to breathe. You're not worried about gaining a life, which is what these cards are for. So that's why I like this overall deck list. To go over the rest of it, your boss monsters are, just because you're ramping, I have a lot of boss monsters in it. You have 9 Luffy, which I think is just an overall great card. Again, with the issue of hand size, drawing a card is great, but like you also get a 10k rush. It's great for ending games quickly. Yamato, you'll see Yamato in my Shanks match, but Yamato comes in clutch just because if they're being overly defensive, you're ramping to 9 anyways, so like they're sort of paying for it then. So that's a benefit as well. Nine Lin, I'm a huge fan of this card. It's a great value. Again, it's very. I wouldn't say it's very. It's more situation. Sorry, it's less situational than Seven Lin in my opinion, because I like the idea of gaining life and removing their board. Because just removing their board applies more pressure with your own board. Keep in mind, you already have a banished Zoro and Nico Robin, granted that they survive. So this adds more pressure while it's sort of like Temple in that case. Plus you're gaining life anyways. Seven Lin is too good to not include in the deck. I'm not a fan of this card, but it's just very good because again, it's another form of banish. You're forcing them to either trash a life or just give you a life. So both Lins heal. One of them removes board, and the other essentially banishes a life or gives you a life. And then your 2K counters are Clover, Robin's mother, I believe. I'm gonna be exposed for being a fake One Piece fan. I'm not too familiar with the lore, but I'm pretty sure Olivia is Robin's mother. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. But yeah, this is also a 2K counter, and your Sanji is also a 2K counter. I will say York's original list, he had 4 of the blocker Sanjis and 4 of the Linlins. I already told you why I'm not a fan of the Linlin, just because I don't know, it's not searchable. And like honestly, there's other plays I'd rather do at 7 Dawn. Like I'd rather do this and then ramp into this or this or this than play this card. That's my reasoning for like lowering it. This was a 4 of. I can see the logic in playing this as a 4 of, just because it is a trigger you can trash, and it's also a trigger you can play from life. But to play it from life, you have to lose a card, which again, I'm not a fan of losing card advantage, and Robin's already pretty scarce for cards. So I replace him with this. Also on the Sanji, this Sanji is searchable by Clover. You can essentially search a trigger, which this is. My issue is you cannot search it off of Law. I mean, I guess you can make the argument that you can't search this off of Clover, but like at the same time, it's a 2-key counter, so it's like it's hard to not include in. You're probably never gonna play this card. It's literally just there to be a searchable 2-key counter. So that's my deck list. This is your just generic searcher. You're running 2 searchers. Personally, I'm not a fan. Like usually, I'm not a fan of running 2 searchers, but that's because if you're running 2 searchers, you're likely running 2 different engines. Like for example, when I play Bonnie, I like using I like using Mono Supernova. I don't like Don Quixote Supernova, just because half the deck is Don Quixote, half the deck is Supernova. So like you're gonna whiff and it's gonna feel bad. I'd rather have like a confirmed search. The reason why I don't mind running 2 searches in this is because of what they're searching. So Law searches out, well, you're not playing Heart Pirates, but you're searching Straw Hat Crew, which is most of your deck. Clover is searching out triggers, which again is so like your Straw Hat is like half of your deck, and Clover is half of your deck. You're whiffing on the same cards. Like you're whiffing on Linlin no matter what. You're whiffing on Yamato no matter what. The only other card you're potentially gonna whiff on is Sanji, Zoro, Luffy, and 2-drop Sanji. Everything else is searchable by both of them. This card, it feels bad. Like this is almost a must-have on my Law search. So like I'll either look for it in my Mull or look for it in the Law search. And then Luffy, I don't mind getting. Luffy, I don't mind having or not having. It's a great card to have, but at the same time, it's not in counter in hand. So I don't mind not having this card. This honestly, this is just luck of the draw. Honestly, these 2 Sanjis, they need to be worked on. I'm not too I like the idea of having more 2K counters just because of the OP09 meta scene. It's looking like it's going to be a lot of big bodies, so the value of 2K counter just goes up in my opinion. But then again, it's not searchable by trigger, but it is searchable by Law, so there's that. Honestly, any of the boss cards like 9-lin, Luffy, Yamato, and 7-lin, I'd like to have these, but like it's not like a must because the core of the deck is Leader, Banish Zoro, and Nico Robin. Just because of what I explained to you, like you're already putting a lot of pressure with Banish Zoro, and you're only ramping once, which is what I love about this deck. Like people think you have to ramp twice, and like that's how you play Robin, but like no, like you can be okay with ramping once because you apply pressure by having this on the board. So that's pretty much about my list. Let me know what you think about in the comments. I'm gonna flip it to a couple more games. Sorry, the games I did. So I think it's gonna be like it's gonna be purple, black Luffy, Shanks, and then Chopper just for fun. I'll be honest, I was so amazed at that Chopper. You're gonna see what I mean. But yeah. Okay, let's go to it. Okay, so this is just like the game I had with the Black Purple Luffy. I'm just gonna. There's a recording of it, so I'm just gonna go through it and just like let you know what I'm thinking about. So unfortunately, like I forgot to mention in my deck review, you almost always want to go first just because that puts you on curve for the 6th dawn turn, which I said is the most important. But unfortunately, we got second. So not much of a difference. Here, I'm imagining I'm just playing out Law and Clover. Law searches out the Luffy. Again, a card I don't mind having. It was the only search I could get. And then the Banish Onami. That's a card I'd rather prefer over the... let me pause here. I'd rather the Banish Onami over the Egghead Nami just because it adds value to this card in the future. And I already have the Sanji for the trash for the trigger. Frankie is a good 2K counter, and then Olivia is also a good 2K counter and an endgame card. I think with Robin, you're not afraid with going down to 2 life. Ideally, you stay at 3, but like 2 is fine as well. There's me just talking in chat. I do that a lot. So here, I'm just like deep in thought, but honestly, I think what I'm gonna do in the end is literally just like 9k Banish Swing, just to like guarantee, because he has a Dawn up, you see. He probably has an event, so I want to guarantee that, and then just trash the Sanji for the ramp. So yeah, so I think he takes this. Yes, he does, and it's Nika. Oh my goodness, that's a really scary card to trash. He's going to do putting Zoro shenanigans, a lot of ramp. Like you could see, like I'm just checking to see. Sorry, I'm just checking to see how much he ramped. He's at like at 8, so he's actually going faster than me. Which is fine because we have our value cards already. The reason why I'm saying you're not really afraid to go down to 2 life is because you have cards like this, the Sol. Sol is like your best trigger, honestly. Just because it's just a free play. People have said that Robin's sort of like an Nell or Katakuri deck, but honestly that's like Robin things. Or not sorry, it's not Robin things, it's like yellow things. Right, so it's like that's part of yellow. I'm not necessarily pinning that as like, because Kata and I'll play very differently than this. So yeah, so free trigger, awesome. So here, what do we do? What to do? I'm guessing we're gonna go Robin, then just go 6k Banish, see if they take it, see if they don't. Honestly, I don't think I care because like if you look at the hand size, like I have 8 cards and they have 4 cards. That's already a huge card advantage. They can't play Nika. It's not worth it to play Nika. Like what I'm imagining here is that next turn, okay, they got their Nika in hand already, so they're at their 10 down turn. So they're gonna try and swing the board to try and get me to 1 life, and then just play on Nika and then win. The blocker really does help. So he does the 2k counter. That's fine. He loses a card. This we obviously block out of because I'm shading Nika already. So he sees that we don't take the swing. I'm assuming that's when he gives up on Nika. I think this is, yeah, when he just plays on pudding. We still could, I think we continue to defend on this. Because like, in my head, I'm just like, oh wait, no, I think I know what I'm thinking. Since I have Yamato in hand, yeah, see, you see me pointing at Yamato. I think I'm, oh, I'm not okay with taking this. Okay. Rush, okay, that's why. That's fine. Okay, that's actually fine because we take, I think we counter out of this and then we just either block or take the lead hit. yeah, we take the Luffy hit because we just Yamato after. We got 2 Yamatos. Um, so this is when we just clear board. Because we still have our blocker has not died. I'm keeping the blocker up because in my head, I'm like, they already have Nika. So they're gonna try and go for game anytime soon. Okay, so I never really explained the value of Robin. People are always thinking, let me pause it here. People are always thinking about like Olivia um, on your 3 Dawn turn for like a high K banish swing. But like honestly, your opponent's probably gonna take that banish swing at like 8K anyways. I think Robin's very good. Sorry, Olivia is very good at late game when when life is getting low and hand size is getting small. Because Robin, you want to bleed out their hand so that you're forcing them to make a decision to either give up their future plays or to trash their life, bringing them closer to losing. So that's why you play Olivia. Then we add 1. I love swinging 9 because it forces 3 cards out of hand, which I like because again, like I like bleeding out people. That's how I'm playing Robin. Force out Zoro. We play out Bashanami on the Robin. I think we go another, if I'm not mistaken. Do we go? Oh, I'm deep in thought. Oh, I'm thinking a lot. Oh, wait, no, oh no, sorry. I think, a little bit of context, I was on a loud Discord call with other people. So, it was hard to think during some of these matches. But I was also explaining what I'm doing in my thought process with this. Sort of what I'm doing to you guys. So yeah. So yeah, I'm likely going a 9K banner swing. I think I'm not sure if do I swing? Oh, I do. Oh, 8K, right. Right, yeah. So yeah, that's just the game. Okay, so to explain my thought process here is I swung with 9. I do admit it was a bit of a risk because like yeah, I did predict correctly. He was gonna Nika if I took the Zoro life, but I did counter out of it, so it's whatever. But I would admit this is kind of risky because swinging 9K banish, swinging 3Ks. I believe this was more of a check. Like Robin was more of a check to see if he had counter for 8. He didn't, so he just play out for Saul. I understand that's super risky. But then again, we don't really have other plays. We sort of had to go for it in that situation. So we're glad we made out that alive. But I'll be honest, like this tactic has worked a lot for. Like I've played multiple games against Purple Black Luffy, and I've won all of them by doing this exact same thing. Just like a slow bleed, and it's not even slow bleed. It's just like a bleed, and then just like go for game. So yeah, I don't think they would have Nika next turn. I think they would have played out the other Luffy, just to add more pressure to the board, to force out my hand or my blocker. I think that's what they would have done, and then the turn after they just do an all swing and then just play out Nika, then just win. That's what I imagine they would do. So we actually kind of had to go for it there. The check with the 8 was just to see if I could keep Saul up. Honestly, if he counted out the 8, I would have just swung with Law and then just pray for the best. But yeah, that's the Black Leafy game. Let's go to the next game. Okay, so this is the Shanks match I had. Honestly, I think Robin just loses to Shanks. I'll explain why maybe in another video, but just in my head, I think Robin loses to Shanks. So let's look at our starting hand first of all. We have the Law, which is perfect. This is also a great card to have. And I have 2 targets for the ramp trigger. Off of Law, I'm going to be looking for, again, the Banish or just the 2K counter. So let's see what happens. Good luck, have fun. Nice. Yeah, so we're searching. Yeah, kind of a weird hand. I just take Robin. Because I have a duplicate of the Robin, that is probably going to become my trash to ramp card, just because I don't need to. And like we got a 2-cost Frankie, I think we're kind of chilling there. This is why actually I'm gonna pause here, and we're actually gonna see it. This is why I think Shanks beats Robin, because Robin gets so much value off of this first attack pressure. Because if he does this, or sorry, if you do this, he could this is pretty much a 7k swing. And 7k swing, 2 cards, he has 6 cards. That's not all that much at the beginning of the game. What I found out in the later game, I'm not showing that one just because I was just stupidly bricked, which could also be a problem with this leader. But I'll just do another tactic you could use is if you have is search for Olivia on your mall, and then just like play out like Olivia and then a 1k for a 9k badge. That is something they'll take because they don't want to dump resources for that. Because if we're swinging 7k, which I think we do, that's only 2 cards versus 3 cards, and that's pretty 2 Sanjus. I mean, that's a lot of value still, but he could have done that. He could have done that either way with the 8k swing. Same thing. We take a 7k hit, we cross our fingers for a blocker, we don't get it. Honestly, that's not that big of an issue. We just go for a swing and then play out Zoro. Yeah, they minus our leader, play out Zoro. They're not at their Beckman stage, or I think it's Beckman. They're not at their Becky stage, so Zoro's gonna survive a turn, which is why the early ramp is so important to get him out there, because he's probably gonna stay on for at least 1 round. So normally I take this, but just because, sorry, let me pause it here. Normally I would take that 6k swing, but because this is Shanks, I know in the back of my mind he's going to be playing big bodies in the future. So I want to preserve my life as much as possible. I don't like the fact that I have to discard a card, but it is what it is. It's Shanks, he's going to be swinging high. You just have to find a way around it. That's my way around it, just preserve life. But this upcoming turn, like you could see our setup here, we're going to be doing like a Robin swing. Robin, Zoro, and then I guess a Demon Robin. But let's see what order we go in. I believe we go Robin first. Oh no, we buff up. I see, we buff up. Yeah, so same thing as before, we buff up, swing 8k, no ramp. We don't need a ramp anymore. We don't have any of our 9 bodies in hand, so we don't care. He burns a Rad Beam, which is weird to me. So that's fine. That's a big card out of his hand. We banish 1 life at 8k, and then we just trash it with Robin. This Robin's probably going to leave. I'd imagine he's going to try and just kill this card. Oh no, never mind. Okay, got a Yamato, which is perfect because, yeah, you can see me counting life. Robin goes away, then he tries to... Interesting. Now, sorry. I'm watching this for the first time, so I'm also learning other stuff too. It's interesting that he banished the... Sorry, he didn't banish. He trashed the... Oh no, I see, because it has to be a 6k power. That's also another reason why this card is great. I just thought of that. Wow. Because Beckman can only trash a 6k. I'm 100% sure he wanted to get rid of this card, but then there was like a little pause and he was like, oh damn, it has to be a 6k. Which is why Robin had to go away. That's completely fine because she already got her value. We trashed her life. They're at 3. I imagine we play Yamato to KO the Yasa. And then we just like go in and banish again. Let's see here. His hand is already dwindling away. At this point, I'm assuming he has like the 10 cost Shanks or a Roger. So likely he's either going to have to dump his hand or just not have counter and banish. And then we see here we got like 2 banish. We got 2 banish attacks, more pressure on the field, and now he's at his 10 down turn. He can play Shanks. That doesn't really do anything. So we see here again, he's trying to get rid of this because he knows I have 3 swings. So this we defend because we see endgame already. His hand size is getting small. I'm assuming an event, but like that's fine because like we have 3 swings. Honestly, we can go 10-9 because he's not playing a blocker. So let's see what we do. I'm actually thinking a lot if I want to trash these cards because I'm thinking he's playing another Yasop. Or sorry, I'm thinking if I want to get rid of this Yasop, but in the end, no. He KOs it, that's fine. We have 2 hits. We just go like, I believe like probably 12-12. 12-12 is the best bet. Even if he has an event, we don't care anymore because 12 is too high. He doesn't have enough cards in hand. Yep, we're going 12. Come on, Hara. Come on, Harsho. Come on. There you go. There you go. See, we got 12. Banish that. Then, yep, we get the GGs. Gold Rogers in his last life. That would have been huge. Yeah, see, exactly. He had 2 shanks in hand, actually, and the event. That's why we swing high with Robin. That's also why I kind of wanted to defend the Zoro to force all of his swings into there. Because, again, with the concept of taunts, that card is way too good to stay on the field for too long. So, he wants to get rid of it as soon as possible and then just pray to defend. But like at that point, he was already at a checkmate position. He didn't have cards. He didn't have counter. Again, bleeding opponents out. That's what Robin does, in my head at least. So yeah. Anyways, next game. Okay, this is the Robin match. It's not Robin. This is the Chopper match that I super loved. I will admit, not the best hand, just because we have... Actually, sorry, Zoro's, yes. So it is a good hand. Sorry, I thought this was Luffy for a second. But yeah, this is a great hand to start off of. We have a card to ramp off of. We have our banished Zoro, so we could put our efforts into finding the Robin. We have Olivia, and then we have Yamato. Which again, I don't know that much about OP09, but I know that Chopper likes to play out a small body, so more often than not, we're going to be able to get a KO off of Yamato. Just because we're playing her super early. I did not know this sauce. This was super cool, and I actually kind of want to try this in 08. But I'll tell you, you'll see it when it happens, but like, man, I was just like, whoa, that's sick. So again, we're gonna go AK Banish, Trash Egg Nami to ramp. Does he take it? Yes, he does. Okay, so now we're set up for a Zoro turn. I think this is when it happens. I don't know. Honestly, I'm just kind of excited to see it. So again, it's a small hit. I know it's kind of weird, but like I don't want to give up any of my 2K counters just because, again, I like holding on to 2K counters, and the potential of us having a what's it called? The potential of us having a trigger blocker at 4 life, I don't mind that. So I will almost always take that first life. It depends on the matchup, but almost always I will. Now this is interesting. 6 Robin off the top deck is pretty huge because in my head I was just gonna play this, but now we have this option. I'm actually not sure what I'm gonna do because like I could see reason for both. He could either trash his blocker, which is kind of a waste of Dawn on his previous turn, but he probably didn't have a better play. So we could either get that back. If he takes this, here's what's going on in my head. If he takes this, we play out Banish Zoro. If he blocks or counter this, we're playing Robin. Those are the 2 paths I have in my head. So he blocks it, no counter, which is interesting. Oh snap! Okay, we play out the Banish Zoro. Okay, no, so this is set up for the next turn. This is definitely set up for the next turn, just to play out Robin, then Banish. Yes, he did play out the blocker, but we're gonna see some yellow things because I remember this. I honestly think this trigger won me the game. So like I think we take this. No, we counter. Oh no, we don't. Okay, so we take it. I thought this was Nami. It's Egg Nami. We trash Olivia. Yeah, sorry, Olivia. Sorry, I thought I had 2 Robins for a second. But yeah, that's just unfortunate. But again, that's just a yellow thing. I'm not really complaining. I don't rely on it, but at the same time, it's nice when it happens. But yeah, that's unfortunate. But it happens. So we're in a great position. We play our Robin. Play a Robin. Come on, Tamale. Play a Robin. Don't count. Just play a Robin. What am I thinking here? Oh no, I know what I'm thinking here. I want to like clear his hand because like I'm seeing his hand size and I'm like, okay, if I want to go for endgame soon, I need to clear his hand before I start threatening like life. So that's why the 5k swings there. This is when the sauce happens. This was sick to me. Yeah, so you could see like, yeah, so like I was like a little confused. I'm like, what just happened? So he played out this event, which is a counter search, because Chopper is not necessarily a counter to counter out, but it's to play a body for the next turn, and we're gonna see what happens on the next turn. But this is part of the setup. So he searched this out and played it, so that's great. Awesome. We trashed our life, and then we played 2, banished the life. Forcing, yeah, again, like he had to, like, look at that. He had to give up 3 cards. My mouse is trailing. He had to give up 3 cards or go down to 2, or go down to like 1 life, which again, like with 3 bodies and no way to clear it out, because we have 3 2Ks. Like that's extremely hard to do. So he had to give up his card. He had to give up his hand, which is exactly what we want him to do, because that sets us up for either a Yamato or a Linlin next turn, or honestly just like going for game. Like if we swing properly with Banish, we could just kill with Robin. So let's see what happens. So he plays Hiking Bear. Once per turn. I guess he's okay, so he gives a bump up to that guy, so he's at 6k. Sorry, I kinda wanna oh my goodness. So I'm gonna pause it here. He committed a lot of dawn because he realizes the threat in the Zoro. This is what I mean by taunting. So he wants me to commit cards to defend the Zoro, which honestly I don't mind because I have the 2Ks in hand. Again, this is why I like the 2Ks. So I can defend the Zoro properly, and also look at how much dawn he committed, right? So like he can't get another swing off of, or I guess he can with leader, but like I have another counter, and the other cards they're probably just gonna pressure life. At that point, I'm okay to take life, just because I know that I can probably win next turn with how his hand size looks. Unless he plays a 2k blocker I don't know about. Yeah, so we just take this life. We don't care. Use trigger effect. Unfortunately, no trigger effect. This is where Saul would be great. I assume. Oh, he doesn't swing with the Hiking Bear. This we just go for game. Like this you go 9, and then whatever. Okay, Chopper. So this is, yeah, this is that same event. So he just did the search again, played out this card. Honestly, I don't think it matters because we swing another 9k with Olivia. Again, this is why Olivia is great for endgame. Again, it's not really necessary, but like I want to save the rest of the Dawn to just KO with Law, because that's funny. Like you could see me hovering over Law. Okay, so we did. So I'll explain. So this isn't about Robin now. I kind of want to talk about this deck because he asked for a rematch. I'm like, okay, sure. This guy's he kind of sauced me because I just wasn't expecting it. But essentially, what he was trying to do with this card is let me see if we can highlight over that card. Okay, here. So set up to one of your Odyssey characters with a 4 or less as active. So what he did is he played. So there's a chopper card. I don't know what it's called, but it's a chopper card that lets you play a 4 or less animal rested. So then he got to a point where he had 2 of these cards rested and they restood each other, which to me was sick. I was just like, whoa. But like that was saucy. And then he played the Nico Robin. It doesn't really matter in this matchup because we're not really KOing. But like in matches like red or matches like black who have KO effects, that's huge. Like getting these to stand up and preventing them from KOing, that's pretty big. So pretty saucy, pretty saucy. So yeah, that's my Robin deck list. I think it works for what it does. Like if it's a bleed deck, I think these 3 cards technically 4 cards, but these 3 cards, with the addition of Linlin, I guess, they all apply pressure. The only ones I'm questioning are the 6-drop Sanji and the 4-drop Sanji, and honestly, kind of the 7 Lin. Some cards I've been thinking about, just off to the side, is Juro. I think Juro is good for like Hyper Ram, because like if you play him out on the what's it called, the 3-Dawn turn, and then just do a 5k swing, it likely won't go through. But the next turn you can double ramp, which will get you to Yamato and 9 Lin or Luffy on your like 4th turn, I believe, which is pretty fast. It's pretty fast. And again, it's just a lot of board pressure while bleeding them out. But yeah, I think this deck list is solid. I'm a huge fan of these 2 cards. They work pretty well together. But yeah, that's my deck list so far. If you guys have any like questions or recommendations of what I should add in or take out, I guess just like leave a comment. Again, this is my first version of the deck. I know it says V2 here, but like it's my first version. This is built off of York's list. So yeah, if you guys suggest any changes, let me know in the comments. And honestly, like, stay tuned if you want to get more Robin content. This is sort of like my first video, so I'm going to be doing more Robin content just to see what we could do, like more deck games to see how much we could learn about the matchup she's doing before she comes out. So when she comes out, we're ready. Okay. Also, I'm going to be doing like other off meta decks, because I personally do not like playing meta. I think playing meta is kind of boring because it's sort of like a one-track mind kind of thing. But yeah, I've been playing Yamato. I do like playing Boa, so I'd probably make a Boa list as well. I have one, it's pretty good, so maybe that'll come in the future. But for now, Robin. For now, we're playing Robin. Guys, if you enjoyed that, I guess. Yeah, I don't know how to do these outros, but yeah, just I guess leave a comment if you have anything to say, and just subscribe if you want to do any more. I'll see you guys later. See ya.